Good morning and welcome to Waking Up with Don and my never-ending search for new things and new people and new products and new businesses. Maybe it's not a new business, maybe you've been around a while. We stumbled upon something great here in Southport. We've got Gene Hester here from Cedar and Cypress Woodwork. Is that the name of your company?
That is correct.
Well, thank you so much, sir. And if you may notice, I'm not sitting in my usual plush faux hand furniture chair. I'm sitting in this wonderful cedar outdoor rocking chair that you made with your own hands.
Yes, sir.
Gene, how did you get started in all this?
Well, I've always been a woodworking enthusiast. Since I was probably 10 years old, I always wanted to be involved in building things. And for the last 30, 40 years, I've been in construction as a superintendent, international code certified commercial building inspector. And this has been something that my wife and I have been designing and developing. We've come up with our own patterns. We make our own furniture. We go to the sawmills. We buy it from the local sawmills, take it home, plane it, machine it to our specifications, and provide the finished product like you're sitting in.
Now this beautiful chair that I'm sitting in, this is cedar?
Yes, sir.
This is made out of? Now, what would you make out of cypress?
We make the same stuff out of cypress, either cedar or cypress. We don't use any pine or pressure treated. All we use is cedar and cypress. And, you know, it's insect and termite resistant. Bugs don't need it. It just makes great keepsake items. They last you forever. Your grandchildren will inherit chairs that you get from us.
Wow, you know what? And there's not many places that say that nowadays. Now this thing is cedar, and I know it has those properties of being resistant. I mean, I could sit this on my back deck up there at Lake Muriel and look at the lake, and I don't need to do anything to it to keep it.
No, sir. The one you're sitting in has a polyurethane finish in it. You can leave them natural, and they will turn to a silver gray over, a couple of years. A beautiful patina to them.
Now, I know you've got another beautiful rocker here, and it's not finished, right?
No, sir.
This is just raw wood. Would you have to finish this, or can you use it just like that?
No, sir. That's a natural finish cypress high back rocking chair, and it will turn a silver gray over time. Now, if you take a sealer and seal it, it will retain those colors like that.
Yeah, and I guess it'll make the grain pop a little better too if you seal it, right? And this is a high back chair, and just as comfortable and okay, I have to do this. Hold on, bear with me. I'm moving. I'm going crazy here with these rocking chairs. I got to take this one for a spin. Oh yeah, you got this, Bob. Good work on this chair. Let me tell you, this is something else. Now, how long have you been in business?
We've been actually doing it full time now for over a year. I've been doing it part time and for probably 25, 30 years. My family and friends have a lot of my furniture sitting around, and I've done it in a part-time basis up until recently. I just finished a job out west last year, and me and the wife decided we're going to try to stay off the road, and this is what we're going to do.
I got to tell you, talk about a cottage industry. I mean, and I say this about a lot of small businesses that we have on the show. I mean, this is really the backbone of America. This is how great businesses get started. You know, I suppose you have little wood shops?
Yes, sir, I do. We have a shop
at your house?
In Southport at my house on Sandra Grace Road out there. And it's just me, my wife, and we have two little Yorkie dogs, and they are our sales dogs, and they run around in the sawdust, and they greet the customers.
Now, I see you brought some other stuff with you. We've got to run off to the local weather right now, but on the other side of this break, I want to see some of the other handicrafts that you and the wife are whipping up there in Southport.
We'd love to show you.
We'll be right back after your local weather, brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm, westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to the show, and thanks for sticking with us. I'm here with Gene Hester from Cedar and Cypress Woodworks in Southport, and he's showing us some of his handiwork here. And Gene, what is this? Now, at first blush, I wouldn't think this is any particular kind of wood, but this is cypress, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It's 100% cypress. These are custom built. We make them in all different sizes. The mattress is hypoallergenic. It's handmade. It's stuffed. The bolsters, everything on this bed is handmade out of 100% cypress, and it's a beautiful piece of.
It is a beautiful piece of craftsmanship, and your little doggy could sleep in this thing, right?
Yes, sir. We make them all different sizes.
So if I had a bigger dog, you can.
Yes, sir. We make them up. And say this one here is basically the same thing.
Would you custom make one if somebody ordered it? All right.
Yes, sir. We do all types of custom woodworking.
Now this is another little bed?
Yes, sir. It is a bed, and we use these for the dogs. and they're toy boxes. They put their toys in here, and then that way the dog, when it's playtime, dog get their toys out. Some people do actually buy them because they are well built for toddlers. They put their little toddlers' kids, Lego blocks and stuff like that in it. It has a seat in them they can sit on.
And again, we can get this custom made if we
in
need
cedar or cypress, either one.
Any particular size we want.
Any color, blinged out with all the little trick jewelry and everything.
Very nice. Now, I know you got some other smaller things here that we could probably take a look at.
We do. We make some. We make these boxes in cedar and cypress. These are like keepsakes and storage boxes.
Like a little jewelry box almost.
Yes, sir. Women use them for recipes. Anything that you want to put in a box. My wife also makes some for the tooth fairy. They're little boxes, and when the kid's tooth comes out, the child puts their tooth there. When the tooth fairy comes and gets it, now in our day, we got a dime.
Yeah.
They probably get $1 or $2 now.
Inflation.
But they make them for that. Those type boxes.
So this is pretty much an all-purpose box here.
It is.
You use it for whatever. This is quite ornate, too.
Yes, sir.
Am I not seeing a lock?
It's got a latch on the front of it there.
See, I'm smart like that, Gene. Well, it's got a little pink inside, too. So this is obviously be something for a little girl, perhaps.
Yes. And then these we make,
Well, we got to get a good look at this. Now, look at the craftsmanship on this cover. You guys put all this together, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Look how beautiful that is.
It's
that is so pretty.
It's 100% cypress. The shells are, my wife takes the shells and hand paints them and glues them and attaches them on there. And they're beautiful boxes to be handed down to people.
You know, this isn't just handiwork. This is folk art, what you're making here. You know, and these are real keepsakes, and it's beautiful stuff, Gene.
Thank you, sir.
I got to tell you.
We try to build a very quality product. We don't, I'm born and raised here. I put my name on it. I want it to be a quality product.
Yeah, and this is really the fruit of your labor, and apparently they're reasonably priced. I know we talked a little bit about price off camera, and I think you're not charging enough myself, but that's me. But it's a super fine value, and I think something like this, even if it doesn't appreciate with age, it's just a beautiful thing to have.
Well, I'm sure that my wife has probably even got a box. That's a $25 box.
Isn't that something?
Made out of 100% cypress with all the shells and handles.
$25. That's just amazing stuff. Now, if you could just remind us again how we can find you.
We're on you can Google us. We're on the internet, Cedar and Cypress Woodworks. We're on Facebook. We'd love for everybody to like us, Cedar and Cypress Woodworks. And you can reach us by cell phone or telephone. It's at 850-348-8151, and we're located at 9221 Sander Grace Road in Southport, Florida.
Gene Hester, thank you so much for coming on the show.
We appreciate it.
And I really appreciate the work that you're doing here. It's just beautiful stuff.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after these messages.
Zenobia Andrews here, your business system strategist, and I am delighted to be here in the Max Out Studios bringing you your Max a Biz tip for today. Now, all week long, we've been talking about procrastination and the effect that it has on your potential. You know, procrastination is that thing that keeps kind of holding you back and preventing you from taking action today on the things that you know that you're accountable for, or you know that you have been dreaming about. You know, procrastination it truly is a bad trait to have as an employee, an employer, and especially as a business owner. You know, as a procrastinator, you're pretty much seen as unreliable. You know, colleagues, they can't trust you. You know, your clients, they feel like you're unreliable, that they really can't place something that's really important into your hands and know that you'll follow through. You know, it reminds me of when I was in school and the teacher would partner you up with this other student that you knew, you know, you had this big project, but you knew they weren't going to carry their end of the load with the assignments. Well, that's because they were a procrastinator, and that is so frustrating. Listen, you don't want to be that student way back when in grade school that no one wanted to partner with because they knew that they weren't going to follow through and take action on what they were accountable for. Listen, I'm Zenobia Andrews, your business system strategist, and I am here to support you. You can reach me at www.zenobiaandrews.com. And hey, if you follow me on social media, I will definitely follow you back. And let's continue to press towards the max.
Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Pamela Elliott from Elliott Vocals and Elliott Talent Agency, which is a mouthful, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Now, you're going to give us an update on what's going on at your business, but before we get started with all that, you've got a new website, don't you?
We do, and it's the same address. It's www.elliotvocalstudios.com. And go to the site and check it out. It's still morphing a little bit, but it's just great because you can sign up and you can register for classes, for summer camps, for all kinds of stuff online. And so we got a whole new thing going on.
Wow, well, that takes a lot of the
really nice.
A lot of the fuss and muss out of it. If you're a busy family and you want someone in your family member to register for one of these summer camps or vocal lessons or whatever, you could just do clickety-click and you're done and you're set, right?
That's right. And another big thing is we really are pushing Skype lessons because Skype lessons have been kind of perfected along the way, and they've just gotten better and better.
Skype lessons? You mean you take voice lessons via Skype?
Via Skype, and it's wonderful. And if you live in, if you live 30 miles out or 20 miles out or even 15 miles out, sometimes it takes all the travel time out. You're sitting in your own home as long as you're plugged into your modem.
Yeah.
And we'll do a Skype lesson. I'm plugged into the modem, and we're doing a Skype lesson. It's clear. It's just like being there.
Is it really?
And it really is. I've been doing them for years.
So the sound quality is?
It's great. It's there's a way that we do it, and it's
well, when
great.
you think about it, when you look at the size of like our broadcast area and your area of business, people would literally spend more time in their cars getting to your studio than they would in the actual lesson.
Exactly, and it's so much easier just to go sit down. I have students in California, in Texas, down South Florida.
So you don't have to live in Bay County. You can be anywhere
in the United States, and we can do a Skype lesson.
Wow!
And I have Skype students that I've had for a long time. I
mean, out in homes
years.
in Washington and Gulf counties and
yes, and Destin and Fort Walton and Apalachicola and Port St. Joe, Mexico Beach. Even if you just don't want to travel.
So it's www.elliotvocalstudios.com.
Yes.
Okay, real good. Now, what else is going on? Now, tell me more about these classes you got coming up.
Summer camps.
Summer camp, rather.
Summer camps. We're going to look at those. I'm doing a little cheat thing, but, I have to cheat just a little bit. The summer camps, we have our the youngest musicians camp is for ages 6 to 9, and it is June 16th through the 19th. You can sign up online for all these camps. 6 to 9 years old, and this is music lessons, singing lessons, or all the above? It covers all kinds of stuff. Stage presence, basic voice, song choice, mic control, introduction to an instrument, guitar or piano. Just bring a sack lunch and a drink, and we'll keep the kids for you from 9 to 2, I believe. Yes, 9 to 2 for 4 days. It is June 16th through the 19th. That's one of them. And then we've got several of them. Kids. Yeah.
And it's kind of a non-traditional kind of little summer camp, too.
Exactly. Yeah. Then we have the 10 to 12. That one is, we'll go over this real quick, June 23rd through the 26th. Same idea. Then there's a couple of them in July. And we even have one for little bitty kids from ages 4 to 6. That one is July 7th through the 10th. Wow. Yeah. 4 to 6. So get them started early, I suppose, at the Elliott Vocal Studios. Yes. And then we have one more, and that one is ages 13 to 16, and it is on July 14th through the 17th, and that one is a little more involved. So we're going to cover songwriting, business talk, recording studio introduction, things like that. So it seems like you've got it all at Elliott Vocal Studios for the summer, and not just the summer, but every day, and now on Skype, www.elliotvocalstudios.com, and we can learn all about it. Yes. Pamela Elliott, thank you so much for coming back on the show. Thank you, Don. I appreciate it. All right, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome back to the show. It's hurricane season. You know, June is the beginning of hurricane season. And I have a couple people here from the American Red Cross. I have Bob Pierce and Alex Tucker. And welcome to the show, guys.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
Bob, you're the executive director of the local Red Cross, correct?
Yep.
What exactly is the Red Cross? I think there's a lot of confusion in people's minds. Is it a government agency? Is it a nonprofit? I mean, what is it?
The Red Cross is a nonprofit organization, not part of the government. Interestingly enough, over 100 years ago, maybe the original unfunded mandate from the United States Congress chartered the Red Cross as the nation's primary disaster relief organization. So we kind of have a unique relationship with the government, and of course, you know, I'm sure you're aware with the Department of Defense and the United States military organizations and bases all over the world, and do a lot of work with active duty military members and their families in times of crisis.
Yeah.
And do a lot of the work providing blood for the military organizations and hospitals and clinics around the world. So Red Cross is an interesting organization. We exist on contributions and donations and things like that from folks like you and other folks that are watching today.
You know, the Red Cross seems to be everywhere. And I just remember from my old days of when I was a New York City firefighter, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth and I had hair and muscle mass, the Red Cross would show up at almost every fire scene. And they would have the Salvation Army, they'd pull up in their vans and they'd have coffee, donuts for the firefighters.
Well, guess what? We respond about once every 3 days to a house fire somewhere in our 6-county area. This past weekend, we had 3 fires in a plane crash.
Yeah.
And we were at all those locations assisting the families. And we still do that. And it's an interesting story about the Red Cross that many, many years ago, in fact in 1918 here in Bay County, a local group of local citizens and civic leaders got together and petitioned the national organization of the American Red Cross to form a chapter here. And hanging in our office is a letter from Herbert Hoover, the honorary chair of the Red Cross, the U.S. President's honorary chair of the Red Cross every year, commissioning the local chapter to form a Red Cross chapter in Bay County, Florida. And over the years, we've grown to encompass 6 counties. So what's interesting to me, Don, is that all of those years ago, the Red Cross had a basic mission that we still do today, and the nation still thinks is important, like responding to assist disaster victims, and doing, now we do the blood stuff and first aid and help with medical stuff. And at one time, the Red Cross was the nation's primary public health organization.
That's amazing. And the Red Cross has very deep roots and a lot of tradition in this area. Now, I know you brought a new guy here with you, Alex, and we've got to run off to a break. But on the other side of this break, I want to talk to Alex Tucker here about this event that you guys have coming up this weekend. What's it called?
It's Preparedness Day at the Mall.
Preparedness Day at the Mall. All right, we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Alex Tucker from the American Red Cross. Now, Alex, you're an AmeriCorps volunteer as well, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
And you're assigned to the Red Cross, right? And you're going to tell us a little bit about, what is it, Hurricane Preparedness Day?
Hurricane Preparedness Day at the Mall.
And when is that?
It's an event that we do every year in preparation for hurricane season, which is June 1st. It's May 31st at the mall this year, and basically we have a bunch of different vendors coming in.
So Saturday, May 31st.
Yes, sir.
At the mall.
10 to 2. And we have fire departments, police, a lot of first responders are coming in, and a bunch of different organizations to represent different areas of being prepared.
And just kind of educate and create an awareness in the public about hurricane season and how you should be prepared.
Absolutely.
Now you brought this stuff with you. Now, who are these people, or guys, or things? What is this?
Another portion of Preparedness Day at the Mall is we want everyone to be prepared for any situation. We'll be teaching free classes of citizen CPR. We'll be going about once every hour, and it's a compression-only version of CPR. These are the mannequins that we'll be using to demonstrate the compressions. So when you would say compression only, no rescue breaths? No, sir, not in this class. Okay. And that would be for another class, I suppose. Absolutely. In a more intimate setting, I'm sure. But, okay, and you'll be teaching those classes? Yes, sir. I'll be there, and we have a lot of other volunteers there that are trained to teach this class, and they're very good at it. Okay, now, are you going to be the only American Red Cross presence at Hurricane Day, or will be the other stuff there?
for us to see from the Red Cross?
From the Red Cross, we will have a booth set up with our disaster preparedness kit. It'll show you some of the different items that you would need in a preparedness kit for hurricane season.
Okay.
The amount of water that you would need, radio, flashlight, and also we have a lot of things in the kit that you don't normally think of, like if you have pets or anything that you need to take care of, you need to have food and everything ready to go for them as well.
So really, you know, the success to hurricane season is preparedness. So you've got to have those things. And now, is there a place where I can go to get a list of things for my kit?
If you go to redcross.org, you can go through several of the pages there. They have different information about preparedness kits and things of that nature.
So, you know, water, batteries, flashlights, radio, all the things that you would normally think of, and perhaps maybe some things you wouldn't normally think of, such as caring for your pet during a hurricane. Alex Tucker, thank you so much for coming on the show, and thanks for introducing me to your friends. What do you call this thing? We have yet to come up with a perfect name for it. Okay, well, we'll open that up to the public. Whatever you think you should call this compression kit thing, let us know. Go to my Facebook site. Thanks a lot for coming on the show, and you guys are welcome back anytime. You've been watching Waking Up with Don, and we'll see you next time.